Welcome to Small Stories, Big Healing, where old teachings speak softly into modern lives.
When you cannot stop doubting yourself and everyone else's advice feels louder than your own heart. There are days when your head is full of advice from everyone else, but your own heart feels strangely silent. You ask friends what to do. You search online for answers. You weigh the pros and cons again and again. And still, you feel stuck. Have you ever wondered, what if the answer is already inside me, and I just forgot how to hear it? Tonight's story is for those moments when you doubt your own inner voice, when you feel torn between logic, expectations, and the quiet whisper of intuition. Once upon a time, in a busy city wrapped in neon lights and endless notifications, there lived a woman named Sara. Sara was known for being reasonable. She always chose the safe path. The school her parents suggested, the job her teachers approved of, the apartment her friends said had good value. Whenever she had a decision to make, Sara would ask everyone around her, "What do you think I should do?" She compared opinions like price tags in a store, carefully choosing what seemed most practical, most praised, most accepted. On the outside, her life looked stable, but inside, Sara felt like a guest in her own story. One autumn evening, Sara's manager called her in. He smiled and said, "Sara, there's an opportunity for you to lead our new department. Higher pay, bigger title. It's a big step up." Everyone congratulated her before she had even answered. Her parents were thrilled, her colleagues were impressed. "You'd be crazy to say no," one coworker laughed. But as Sara walked home through the cool night air, she felt a strange heaviness in her chest. The promotion sounded perfect on paper, but something inside her tightened, like a shoe that was one size too small. At the same time, there was something else on her mind. For months, Sara had been spending weekends helping a friend at a small community center, teaching drawing to children who didn't have many places to go. Whenever she was there, she felt light, awake, quietly joyful. Recently, the director of the center had pulled her aside. "Sara, we're planning to expand our programs. It's not a high salary, and it's a bit uncertain, but would you consider joining us full-time?" It was everything her parents would call unrealistic, but when she thought about it, her heart felt warm, like standing in a beam of sunlight. Two choices, one impressive, one uncertain. The more she thought about it, the louder the world became. Voices of expectation, fear, comparison. And her own inner voice felt like a whisper, lost in a crowd. One weekend, seeking a little peace, Sara wandered into a narrow side street she had never noticed before. At the very end, there was a small, dusty bookshop with a faded sign, "The Listening Lantern." Curious, she stepped inside. The air smelled of paper, wood, and something warm, like tea left to cool. Behind the counter sat an old man with kind eyes and a slow, steady voice. "Welcome," he said softly. "You look like someone carrying a noisy question." Sara blinked. "Is it that obvious?" He smiled. "Questions have a weight. Yours is heavy. Sit if you'd like." She found herself telling this stranger about the promotion, the community center, and the tug-of-war between expectation and desire. When she finished, the old man didn't answer right away. Instead, he reached under the counter and placed a small lantern on the table. Inside, a tiny flame flickered. "Do you see this flame?" he asked. "Yes," Sara replied. "Imagine," he said, "that this flame is your inner voice. Your intuition, it doesn't shout, it doesn't argue, it simply glows with what is true for you." He opened the shop door for a moment. Street noise rushed in, car horns, voices, distant music. The flame wavered, almost disappearing in the gust of air. The old man gently closed the door again. In the quiet, the flame grew steady, clearer, brighter. "The world," he said, "is like that open door. So many opinions, fears, expectations, and noise. If you never close the door for a while, you might think you have no inner voice at all. But look, it is always there, waiting in the quiet." Sara watched the flame, mesmerized. "But how do I know," she asked, "if it's really intuition and not just fear or wishful thinking?" The old man nodded. "Fear screams," he said. "Intuition whispers. Fear rushes you. Intuition gives you space to breathe. Fear feels tight, like a rope pulling you away from yourself. Intuition feels honest, sometimes uncomfortable, but strangely peaceful." He slid the lantern a little closer to her. "Tell me," he asked, "when you imagine the promotion, what does the flame do inside you?" Sara closed her eyes. She pictured the fancy office, the new title on her card, the approving smiles. Inside, her body felt heavier, her stomach tightened, her breath grew shallow. The flame in her mind flickered and dimmed. "And when you imagined the community center?" he asked gently. She imagined the children's laughter, the messy art supplies, the uncertain future, the simpler salary. Her mind listed all the reasons it was a bad idea, but her chest felt light. Her breath deepened. The flame in her imagination burned brighter, not loud, not dramatic, just clear. A quiet yes without words. Her eyes opened slowly. I think I know," she whispered. "Your inner voice," the old man said, "is like a compass. It cannot walk for you. It cannot guarantee a smooth road, but it can point toward what is true for your heart. The question is not whether you have intuition. The question is, will you listen?" Sara looked at the lantern one more time. "I'm afraid," she admitted. "Of course," he replied. "We are all afraid when we step out of the pattern others have woven for us. But remember this: fear asks, what will happen if I fail? Intuition asks, what will happen if I never even try?" He carefully blew out the lantern. "You won't need this," he said kindly. "Yours is already lit." Sara left the shop, with no book in her hands, but with a strange calmness in her chest. The door closed behind her with a soft chime. When she turned back, the old bookshop seemed to fade into the busy street, as if it had never been there. A few weeks later, Sara made her choice. She declined the promotion with a respectful bow and a steady voice. Her manager was surprised. Her parents were confused. Some colleagues whispered behind her back. But at the community center, when a child tugged at her sleeve and proudly showed a messy drawing, saying, "Look, Sara-sensei, I made this because you told me I could," her heart answered with a full, quiet yes. Life did not become suddenly easy. Money was tighter. Schedules were messy. The future was unclear. And yet, every night when she lay down to sleep, Sara felt something she had never felt during her perfect, safe life: alignment. She was no longer a guest in someone else's story. She was living her own. Sometimes doubt would visit her, as it always does. In those moments, she would close her eyes, slow her breathing, and ask herself, if all the noise of the world fell silent, what would the small, honest flame inside me be saying right now? And in the quiet, she always found her way back to the whisper. The lesson I wanted to share through Sara's journey is simple, but not always easy. Your inner voice is not missing. It is simply quieter than the world. Intuition is not a magic trick that guarantees success. It is a gentle guide, a soft, steady feeling of "this is true for me," even if it doesn't impress others, even if it doesn't look perfect from the outside. Fear shouts, intuition whispers. Fear rushes you. Intuition gives you space. Fear chains you to other people's expectations. Intuition invites you to walk your own path, step by step. So, how can you begin to listen to your inner voice? Here are a few quiet practices you might try. Turn off the noise, notifications, other people's opinions. Even just for 5 minutes, sit with yourself in silence. When you imagine a choice, notice, does your chest tighten or relax? Does your breath shrink or deepen? Intuition often speaks through the body. Listen for the honest yes, not the excited, impulsive yes of escape, and not the fearful yes of pleasing others, but the quiet, grounded yes, this is true for me, even if it's scary. Practice on small things. You don't have to start with life-changing decisions. Ask your inner voice about small choices: how to spend an evening, whom to call, what your heart needs today. Trust grows little by little. Remember, you are allowed. You are allowed to choose differently from what others expect. You are allowed to follow a path that only makes sense to your own heart. Your intuition will not always lead you to the easiest road, but it will lead you to a life that feels real when you place your head on the pillow at night. If you felt even a small echo of your own story, if you've ever ignored your inner voice and later wished you had listened, or if this story gave you a tiny bit of courage to trust that quiet whisper inside your chest, then I'm grateful we could share this moment together. If you learned something today, or if Sara's journey brought you even a small sense of calm, I invite you to stay connected with us. This is Small Stories, Big Healing. Short tales to soothe your heart and guide your steps. If this story should reach more people who are struggling with listening to their intuition, please don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might need this reminder, and comment below. What does listening to your inner voice mean to you? Your one comment may encourage someone else who feels torn and uncertain tonight. And if you'd like more stories that bring gentle comfort and insight, please subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss the next healing tale. Until then, may you find small, quiet moments to hear the soft flame of your own inner voice. And may you have the courage to follow where it leads. Small Stories, Big Healing will be here with another story whenever your heart needs a gentle reminder.